is Russ. I'm on the road again. So where are we headed today? I'm going back to Harper College. Now, this is 2 days later for me, but it'll probably look like a day later for you. Now, the reason I'm going back to Harper College is because I'm taking the Komoot app, Komoot. I want to see what it recommends as far as streets to take. Now, the one thing I had a complaint about with this program, it was hard to actually read the actual map because the instructions, the line that it shows you where the map is going, kind of goes right over the top of the words of what the street names are. So that leaves me only with the top section here that tells me when I need to turn and where I need to turn. So I can't really 100% rely on just looking at the graphics of the map. I've got to look at the name of the street on the top and also how many miles are left before I need to make the turn. So this one right now it says turn left in 0.63 miles at the Cycle Way. I don't know what the Cycle Way is, but we're going to find out. So we'll see if this is a better map than the Apple map as far as getting where we wanted to go. I have no idea if it is or it isn't, but we will find out. All right, everyone's stopping, so I'm going. I think somebody asked me why cars park on the bike path here. That's because it's actually not really a bike path. I think it's actually for parking. This whole section of the road is actually for parking. We just use it as a bike path because if there's no cars there, you're safer here than you are actually on the actual lane. So that's the answer to that. Like you see up ahead, there are some cars parked in this lane because it is actually for parking more so than riding your bike. Now, this road is actually marked as a shared road of bikes and cars. So they should be used to having bikes on here, but I don't think they're that used to it. I think most people will go onto the area where there's parking rather than share the road. All right, we're gonna have to stop here. All right, I'm gonna move up in case the guy behind me decides to move up a little bit, which he's not. I don't understand why cars don't move up a little. Okay, now he's finally moving up. They need to move up because we need their metal to trigger the sensor on the lights. Otherwise, we could be standing here forever, like I said. And as a reminder, in Illinois, if you stand for more than 2 minutes and the light doesn't change, you can legally go right through that red light. I've invoked that privilege several times now. All right. Now, another thing that I did, you can hear the tires screeching. The guy, I guess, wanted to make a right turn, but I was in his way. Another thing I did is I changed the pedal assist levels on my bike. Now, you might know that Magicycle gives you a pedal assist of 0 to 7, and I dropped it down to 1 to 5. So I moved it back to 7 this time. I went from 1 to 7. I don't put it on 0 because I never ride on 0. Okay, I know what they're asking us to do here. So I changed it to 1 to 7, and then I changed the pedal assist levels to give me some more middle levels, so it doesn't jar me from like 1. Usually I'm on levels 3 or 4. Okay, so they want me to come up here. All right. And it wants me to go here, which takes us back to the path we normally take. You might remember this because here's the narrowest bridge we usually go over.
Now continue straight on Cycle Way.
All right, so it wants me to go straight this way. We usually turn right over here. And I've gone off this way once before, so let's see where it takes me.
Now continue straight on Red Avenue.
So this has me on the sidewalk, but I'm gonna go onto the street because sometimes it's a little bit tougher on the sidewalks. Sidewalks, sometimes you have to dodge hanging branches
Turn right onto East Heron Drive.
and everything. Okay, it wants me to turn here. We're trying all the different methods, right? Just to see how it goes.
North Fenway Street.
Alright, it wants me to turn here. A lot more turns, that's for sure, but it's trying to keep me off of that other road.
This way for 0.72 miles.
Alright, it's trying to keep me off of Rowing Road. So it's taking me on some side streets. We'll see if that's better or not. So yeah, I changed the pedal level assists to 1 to 7, put some in-between levels. I also increased my levels slightly because now that I'm used to the bike a little bit more, I can use the higher percentages on each level assist. Alright, we're going to stop here. Again, there's no cars here. I think this was the street that I had to invoke the 2 minute thing. I'm going to put a little bit of chapstick on here because I'm kind of drying out. So I see a car way up ahead. Let's see if they end up over here and trigger the stoplight for me. Because I think if nobody shows up, this thing does not turn on its own, and we don't have enough metal to trigger it. So yep, he's gonna stop. So he's gonna be the one that's gonna trigger that light for us. Let me know in the comments if you guys have something similar in your states, where your streets are triggered by the cars that ride over the sensors. There's usually a sensor right at just before the crosswalk areas. So if they don't move up far enough, and I got a car now next to me, if they don't move up far enough, it doesn't trigger it, and then the other way keeps going and never stops. So the weather right now is in the low 70s, and it'll just go up from there. It'll be a little bit warmer today, I think, than it was yesterday. I'm about a week and a half or so ahead of you guys in recording these videos. So by the time you see it, it's like a week and a half later. And I have taken advantage of that because I have not been able to go out riding every single day for various reasons. Yeah, this is an extremely crazy light. It takes forever, even with the cars there. All right, here we go. So somebody asked me what my mileage was on the Magicycle right now, and I believe, let me check it, 482 as of this moment. Cycling through these things. Okay, I'm leaving at the trip meter right now just so that I know how far we've traveled. I've gone about 1.8 miles since I turned on reset the trip meter. So about 1.8 miles. So we'll see if this is any better. Let me try through, yeah. Changing the pedal assist levels, I've got some in-between levels now that I can do to help me out for pedaling. We're riding the Magicycle today. I still have not gotten the battery yet, but Magicycle assures me it's any moment now. Yeah, I'm waiting just like you guys are waiting. I'm going to adjust my mirror a little bit here. Yeah, I wait just like you guys wait. You know, if it hasn't arrived in the United States, it hasn't arrived for anybody. So regular consumers, of course, wait just like reviewers end up waiting for things. Things get stuck on the road, or should I say, things get stuck out on the ocean. Because if it's not there, it's not there, right? I mean, if it still sits out there, or it sits at the harbor, or wherever these boats go into, and then they got to wait their turn and all sorts of stuff. So. I'm trying to adjust the volume level so I can hear it a little bit better. The hard part is sometimes I get a reflection on the phone. I can't see it. That makes it difficult, of course, to tell what it's telling you to do if you can't hear it. So it wants me to take a left, so we will take the left. I've put my arm out for signaling. There's no cars around anyways. And this is the metro train that goes downtown. Alright, so I'm going to assume we are safe to go since the train has passed us. Alright, so it wants me to take a right. We will take the right.
Follow this way for 0.39 miles.
The hard thing for me is sometimes gauging, when it tells me it's 400 feet or it's 0.3 miles. I have a hard time gauging how far that is sometimes. Yeah, I'm just kind of flipping this up because I'm getting the reflection again. I know last time somebody mentioned every time you flip it up we can't see it. Yeah, I know. Sorry. At this point I have to see it more than you have to see it, so goes to where I can see it. So we got a 0.25 miles to go. Take a left, it says. So far it's been keeping me fairly safe. Now I had another map that I was using called Bike Map, the Bike Map app, and that has never really come back alive for me. It used to be free. Now it requires you to buy into the service. So since I'm cheap and I don't want to buy into the service, I want the free for service. I don't use them anymore. So that means I had to try other maps. Google Maps, as you know, I've had some issues with. The Apple Map did pretty good going to Harper College. So alright, so we'll see how this one does. I think as long as the volume level is high enough and I can hear the instructions, this Komoot app isn't so bad. It's just that, if you're trying to read it off the actual map section itself, the line goes directly across the word, so it's kind of hard to read the name of the streets. So let me move up a bit so I can see where we're going. All right. I've also noticed too that once you've made the turn that it tells you to do, it takes it a little while before it gives you the next instruction on the top over here. It doesn't immediately switch. It could take it maybe 2 or 3 houses of travel before it'll switch itself. So if it if it required an immediate turn and then a turn immediately again, you might not see that before you've already ridden past it. So I've been, again, hesitating and going too far out with the Magicycle because I don't have that second battery. And as you know, I do tend to ride a little hard. I ride a little quicker. Tends to eat up the battery a little bit more. So it's still kind of forcing me to stay relatively close by. But, you know, it is what it is, right? It'll be there sooner or later. And again, I'm waiting for the 20 amp hour battery, not the 15. So an interesting thing I saw too is Citizen Psycho, who's another YouTuber. Many of you guys, I'm sure, watch Citizen Psycho. He has quite a few subscribers. He's got his Magicycle back. His dad took it. His dad took his Magicycle Cruiser. I guess kept it for about 6 months or so, but returned it and took another bike. So Citizen Psycho has got his Magicycle back. He's hoping to do more with it, and he was mentioning he'd like to maybe try the new Ocelot Pro as well. So overall, I've watched pretty much most of the YouTubers, most popular YouTubers, of course, and definitely like his channel. So if you haven't checked out Citizen Psycho, go ahead and check his channel out. He does a lot of reviews and modifications to bikes and things like that too. So yeah, drying out. I don't know why I'm so dried out today. Drink a little bit of water. I put ice inside the water bottle, in the water bottle itself, because you know, even though this polar bottle is supposed to stay cold longer, I don't think it really does. Okay, it has a little like aluminum foil thing on the outside of the bottle to reflect sun. Yeah, maybe it keeps it off a little bit, but it really doesn't do that much. What I do like though is the bottle cap. I don't have to push down to lock it and then pull it up to unlock it. It's always in the up position for me because there's a safety in there. Unless you squeeze the bottle, the water doesn't come out. Now you could push this thing down and then it locks it in. If you squeeze the bottle, then it doesn't come out either. So that's the locking mechanism. But I don't need that. I leave it totally unlocked all the time, and just when I need it, I just squeeze the bottle, right? All right. So we are back on Illinois Street, which is, I think, the same street that the Apple Map brought me to. I mean, there's a point where you have to take certain streets to get to other areas, so that's understandable. And it also brings us towards the area where we went to another park. So far, I would say the Komoot has given me a little bit safer ride. Alright, so I need to now move to the left here. We've got a car here. Let's make sure that they know I want to turn. But we cannot turn until these cars go by. They know I'm going. There we go. Yeah, you still got to play the game with the cars, right? All right. So, yeah, today I'm wearing the yellow shirt along with the yellow vest. I don't recall what I was wearing for the other ride to Harper College. I don't know if it was the black one or the yellow one, but wearing all yellow today, so I kind of stand out. All right, 30 feet, take a right.
In 650 feet, turn right onto West Peregrine Drive.
Okay, I thought it said 30 feet take a right and there was no street to turn onto. Now it says go a little bit further. So it may have repositioned itself, I don't know.
In 200 feet, turn right onto West Peregrine Drive.
Still, ultimately, we are still on side streets, so it still makes it safer. I think we're all off of all the major streets at this point, though.
To 8 miles.
So I would say, as far as choice of streets, the Komoot, the Komoot app is doing pretty well. Let's see if it finds the actual entrance. Now, it's possible that the Apple map found the entrance. I just didn't know it because when I was coming back and I got off of the route, it takes me out onto somebody's driveway almost.
Onto South Quentin Road.
And then you get off of the thing. So let's see if this thing brings us up on the same way or not. So we have 450 feet to go. It's asking me to take South Quentin. Now, South Quentin
200 feet, turn left
is a
onto South
busier street. I'm surprised it's pulling me onto this one. All right, well, we are here. We're going to do it, of course. It could be a short run of it. We'll see. Those who are local know that Quentin is not the safest road to take. All right, so it just wants me to get off of this.
600 feet, turn right onto Cycle Way.
All right, 600 feet, Cycle Way. How far is 600 feet? Is it past this street? Is it not past this street? That's Euclid, 250.
In 200 feet, turn right onto Cycle Way.
All right, I think we're gonna pass this Euclid. 30 feet, Cycle Way. You see any cycling way here? All I see is the driveway. I don't see any cycling way. All right, we're pulling off. Komoot has lost us again. They have lost us again. All right, so since we don't know where it is, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get out of the Komoot system. We're going to the Apple map. This is the problem with these apps. Oops. Gotta change that too, because I gotta change it to bicycling. Let's go back here. Sorry folks, this is the problem with all this stuff. Biking. Here we go. Proceed to the route. Which route? Let's go through Walgreens here. Let's see if it figures out where we are. Rerouting. Turn right. Okay, let me see if there's a way to get out of here. So we're using Apple Maps right now. Komoot has failed us. Alright, this is taking us to Euclid. Make a U-turn on Quentin. I don't think so. Let me see here. I don't think so. Weren't we just on Quentin? Alright, let's do this. Let's turn around. And again, I don't do U-turns.
At the next light, turn left. Proceed to the route.
Here's the problem when the instructions come up and then there's a notification that comes up. Covers over the instructions so you can't see what's going on. And of course I get a lot of, whoa, we can't go through here because we got this truck in the way. We're not doing that. Coming back this way. Yeah, we're striking out all over the place here. Let's.
Turn right onto Western
Yeah, we're not doing that. We don't do a U-turn in the middle of the road with a bike on a major street. We cannot do that.
In 900 feet, turn left onto West Euclid Avenue.
All right. We have got to go back. We got to cross this street, which is tough for a bike to do.
Proceed to the route.
Not good, huh?
At the light, turn left onto West Euclid Avenue.
Take a right on Euclid Avenue. All right, we'll take Euclid Avenue. Let's see what that does. If it doesn't kill us. Yeah, this is gonna be tough. So we will turn left here. I don't know whether I'm gonna be able to trigger this sensor. We may have to wait for everybody to turn first before we can, or go forward before we can turn. This is the problem when you go places and you don't know the best direction, and then you rely on the maps. And if the maps put you in areas that you don't know either, it'll tell you to turn areas that you can't find. So I'm relying back on Apple Maps. Now, Euclid Avenue is not a good road for me to be on, but I don't have an option at this point. Now, I know that Euclid will eventually run into the school, but not the best road for a bike to be on. Alright, so it did not trigger. So we have to wait till everybody goes. Alright. So now, in this case, it's telling me to take a left at half a mile. We're throttling as fast as we can go. So as you know, the Magicycle will do 28 miles an hour. And we're almost there at 28 miles an hour at this point on full throttle. So it wants me to move to the left lane, which of course is difficult to do with major traffic. I think I can come up on this road here. That was sketchy. Thanks a lot, Komoot. You kind of messed me up. Apple Maps has brought me back to where I need to be, but again, it kind of forced me to take the road that I really didn't want to do. So at this point, I would say Apple wins, Komoot loses. Apple took me on to a couple of streets that were tougher, but the fact that Komoot kind of lost me, it didn't keep me where I should have been. I would say that's a fail on their part. Alright, we are here. We can end this route. So what do you guys think? This is my thing with maps. I just don't seem to have a whole lot of luck consistently. You know, one map will give me something that's good, another map won't give me something that's good. So it's kind of a pity. Kind of a pity because you don't, if you're going to new places, you don't really know what's good, what's bad. You don't know if the map is gonna kind of die out on you. So here's my recommendation: download a bunch of maps. All right, download can't talk. Download Google Maps. Make sure you have Apple Maps if you have an Apple device, and then download Komoot, Komoot, K-O-M-O-O-T. And so if one doesn't give you what you need or that you like, you can switch off to the other map to finish you off. Okay. Don't rely just on one map on your phone. You might need more than one. All right. How do I get onto their trail here? I think I'm actually not really on their path. Yeah, we'll see. We're kind of on the outskirts of the campus. We're not actually on their path, I think. And again, when I don't want to think, I throttle. If I don't want to think about pedaling, that is, I'll just throttle. Sometimes I pedal. I'm pedaling now. Since we're here, let's go through the campus, right? Yeah, this whole thing today was just a test out of the maps, and I thought we were doing well with the Komoot map until it flaked out on me. They're not the only ones, quite frankly. It's happened on other maps as well. A lot of construction stuff going on all the time. They're digging up the road for whatever reason. Well, it's still good to be able to go out. I'll try to avoid this trees here. Still good to be able to go out. Let's push the little button. And we get the signal, which means we can go. All right, I think we are on their path. Oh, you know what I didn't do again? I didn't turn on my little light on my helmet. All right, I just turned it on. I got to get used to doing that. You know, all the other helmets I had did not have a light, so I never turned them on. But the X-Nito does have the light, so I might as well use it, even in daylight. Okay, let's go through their path here. I am really dried out today. As far as the coughing is concerned, the coughing has gone down dramatically to the point of almost not coughing at all. I forgot to take the antihistamine today, but I have been taking it every day since. I think I want to give it a little bit longer before I totally stop taking it. I think that did the trick. It's either allergies, something with the postnasal drip causing, it was the allergies or something. I don't typically have allergies, so maybe as I'm getting older, maybe now I'm getting allergies. I have no idea. But I'm not one that likes taking any kind of drug, so I don't want to stay on the antihistamines forever. So I eventually will get off of it, but since it's only kind of stopped a little bit now, might as well kind of keep going for maybe until the end of this week, then I'll do it again. Okay, I'm gonna do a quick stop here and start up again. I'm not sure if my GoPro battery has stopped or not, but I heard some type of beep. It could have stopped, so let me check it. Be right back. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, it wasn't the GoPro battery that died. Sounded like it did, but it was a good time for me to change the audio recorder's battery anyways. It was almost dead. We would have lost you in the audio if I didn't stop. So it was a good way to stop. So yeah, I changed out both batteries just to be safe. So yeah, we're continuing on exactly the same spot where we ended up stopping, so we didn't lose any distance or footage. Overall, I would say I like doing the Harper College. It's a change of someplace to go. It's not a very long path, quite frankly. But I will say that I'm getting more used to just riding on the streets, to tell you the truth. Good morning. So, oh, here's an interesting thing. Somebody commented about me saying good morning that nobody could actually really hear me. When I say that, no, that's not true. They do hear me because they usually say good morning back to me. It's just that this microphone doesn't pick it up. I hear it. You won't. The microphone is positioned right above my helmet, so so really what you're hearing is essentially me, and to keep my volume level a certain level, things outside of its general range doesn't get picked up quite as much. Because if I were to pick up everybody, turn the volume levels up, my voice would distort, right? Because I'm closer to the mic, so that forces me to record at a lower volume level, so that it doesn't overload the inputs to the recorder. And so I sound natural, but that of course means that sounds further away from the mic will sound even further, because it doesn't get heard as well, because it's at a lower volume level then. So this is why my audio always sounds so good, is because it's been optimized for me, but not for anything else around me. Okay, she's got earbuds on, so she cannot hear me. I would say that the little bell that I have, since converting my brakes to the full hydraulic brakes, I lost the bell on the mechanical brake. It's usually right by the lever over here. So I had to add this little thing here, which is it's like a little half bar. It's kind of held up on springs. That's how it keeps it from being connected directly. So when I hit this, it really rings a long time. It's actually fairly loud. Like I said, I was able to get 3 of these different colors. It was a black, silver, and blue one. I was able to get 3 of these things for like $7.99, but unfortunately, no longer available from that seller. And I think these were probably Chinese knockoffs off maybe the original bell, whoever designed it, because the other bell I tried before is the same thing, but it was a little bit too big, so I had to return it. It was like $18.95 or more for just one bell, so not as good. All right, we're gonna have it pass her here. On your left. Thank you. Yeah, people hear me. Believe me, they hear me, even though you may not think they do, but they do. You know, when I say hello or if I say on your left, they can hear me. They do react. As long as they don't have like earbuds on or something, they react. So I know they hear me. All right, we've gone around. We're gonna exit out, and I think what I'll do is I'm gonna use the Apple Maps again to take me out of here. Alright, we're gonna have to stop for a second here. We can't do this on the fly. Alright, so now it's telling me to do certain things from where we're at, but I'm not going to go from where we're at. I'm going to take it back to the same way I came before on the last ride. I want to see if this takes me out. I want to see if this takes me back out onto the driveway of that other that other property. We'll see. So here we just have to wait for the crosswalk signal. There's a lot of stop and go on this trip, it seems. All right, we can go now. I will say that the helmet is doing well. I really like this visor on the Exonito helmet. It sticks out farther than the visor I had on the Burn helmet. It sticks out. It is much better than the one I had on my cheap helmet. The Outdoor Master has a visor too, which is made of hard plastic. It also does a better job than those other helmets. But of them all, this one seems to do the best job, I think, because it's so much longer. Like I said, it's almost like wearing a baseball cap. So it keeps the sun out of my eyes really well. I really like it. My wife has before worn a baseball cap underneath her helmet. I've always thought that was not really the safest way to do it because it's not really part of the helmet. But I think once she finally gets an Exonito helmet, whenever that happens to be, could be a while, I think she'll like it better than putting like a baseball cap underneath your safety helmet. So.
At the next stop sign, turn right.
All right, so you're seeing what the Apple Maps would have suggested just based on going in a backwards direction at this point. I think where we got out of is not the same area of entrance to the entrance of the bike path for the Komoot. That's a different entrance than what the Apple Map would have suggested for an entrance. So, yeah, they bring you there, but they don't both bring you to the same exact entrance point. Which is fine. I mean, it's not a real big deal, quite frankly, as long as you're on the path eventually. Alright, we're gonna have to move to this side because we gotta take a left. It always feels kind of funny when you're on the road and you're on the street, on the actual street itself. There's no cars behind me, but it always feels kind of funny that I'm on the left-hand side of the lane, but that's the only way to take a left, right? The only other way is you go up onto the sidewalks or something and then cut across and take a left, but too much of a headache. All right. So yeah, it's a nice day. A little warmer than last time, but I got a good cool breeze hitting me. I am drying out a lot. I don't know why I'm drying out so much. So I'm hitting the water bottle a lot today. Better to do that than to be dried out. I mean, you got to stay hydrated, they say.
At the next stop sign, turn right.
Like I said, this year has been a lot tougher for me for leg cramps. And that could be multiple things. It could be dehydration, need more electrolytes, whatever, potassium, whatever everyone else has suggested that I take. So I have been drinking some things with electrolytes in it. I have eaten bananas. I have been drinking lots of water. I do drink a lot of water, by the way. I think I drink more than the average person in terms of water. I don't drink much of anything else, really. It's usually just water. All right, we're taking a right here. It's usually just water. I don't drink much of anything, you know, unless I go to like Costco or something. Like I said, I'll have like a Diet Pepsi or something. It's part of the hot dog thing. But okay.
At the next stop sign, turn left.
So overall, I think I'm going to trust the Apple Maps program more than a Komoot. I can read the names of the streets better. I mean, I got big names up here. The other ones, the Komoot, the name is written on top of the street line, and then when they give you the direction, it goes right over the name. I think they need to really fix that, quite frankly. I think they need to fix it so that, so if they're going to do that, at least the line that they show where you're going is next to the street, maybe, but not on top of it, so at least you can read the street names. And the street names are awfully small. It's really hard to read on your phone when you're this far away from it. I think I was supposed to turn here. Let's see.
In half a mile,
Yep.
turn right onto Westwood Street.
See, now, even like that turn, since I passed it up a little bit too far, it's kind of sketchy to turn it because I can't go fast. These big tires don't really react very well for stuff like that. I mean, if you had thin tires, like if you had a road bike, a turn like that would be no big deal. Now, these fat tire bikes, they don't seem to be as nimble. So why do I ride the fat tire bikes? Okay, let's talk about that again. I've mentioned it before, but I know we got new people. People said, why do you ride fat tire bikes on roads, and why do you use big knobby tires? You should be using street tires. Well, I like the big knobby tires because sometimes I do go off on grass. Sometimes, I'll ride a little bit off the main road and I'll cut across on grass on something. And so having the knobby tires helps. It's not the best rolling tire for street riding. I know that, and it's noisy as well. And but I like it. And as far as the fat tires, why don't I ride like a commuter bike, like the KBO Breeze or something? I just like the feel and ride of the fat tires. They take bumps a lot easier. Plus, I'm a big guy. You know, I kind of look better on a big fat tire bike. Big fat guy with a big fat tire bike works better. It's just me. That's how I feel about it. And so that's why I ride these 4-inch tire bikes. I think the first time I actually saw one of these, when I first unpacked the Rad Rover 5, I was shocked at how big the bike looked and how big the tires look. I said, wow, this thing is almost like a motorcycle. Anything bigger, it's going to be like a motorcycle. But I've gotten used to it. This is now the norm for me, really. But I do know that whenever people see my bike, they all kind of stare. Maybe they stare at me. I don't think they're staring at the bike. They may be staring at the big fat guy on the bike. But yeah, they always look at it. They are amazed at the bike, but they are kind of shocked at me riding it. All right, so like going over those bumps, I kind of stand up a little bit on the pedals. I take the bumpiness off of your butt. I don't stay 100% seated. I'm kind of semi-seated, semi-standing. whenever I go over major bumps like that. All right, we got to turn here.
In a quarter mile, turn left onto North Benton Street.
Yeah, it's been an easy ride. What are we doing for mileage here? We did 12.5 miles. I am down 48% on my battery, which you might say is not really that good, but you have to remember too, I'm throttling kind of hard and not pedaling as much. If I was pedaling the whole way, our battery would be a lot better. But I knew I had enough to get there and back, even if I rode it the way I typically ride it. So that's what I did. If I was going further distance, then of course I would have to be more conservative of how I ride. But since I am not going that major distance, I ride it the way I normally ride it.
In 3/4 of a mile, turn right onto East Herring Drive.
Now I think once the second battery comes in, because it should be a little bit heavier than the current battery. I'll have to test that new battery out to find out what the range of the battery is, how far I think I can really go with it based on the way I ride. And then once I know that factor, then I'll know what areas I can go to, what areas I can't go to with two batteries. I should have 35 amp hours at that point between the two batteries, and it's not being wired directly where both batteries are running. It's just one after the other. Once one exhausts, I just swap out the battery with the other battery. To me, that's the safest way to do it, the easiest way to do it. I'm just going to have to find a way to strap it to the rear rack. Now, the thing is, the Magicycle batteries are fairly long. It's going to stick out from the rear rack a little bit. But I'll figure it out with some bungee cords and stuff. They did give me a fireproof bag to use. I'm still debating whether that is the best thing to do. I thought that was a single bag battery, but it's a double battery bag. Sorry, I couldn't get it out. And since I've only got one battery in there, strapping that down is like kind of crunching the bag a little bit because there's only one instead of two batteries in the bag. It is probably the best protection for the battery though. It is sized for their batteries. And I'm assuming the 20 amp battery will fit in there. Anyways, I mean the length and everything should be identical because it has to fit this bike. But I'm thinking it should be higher, but it can't be too much higher because if it's any higher, it reaches the top bar. So I don't know how they're able to cram more battery cells into the thing to get a 20 amp hour out of it. I'm thinking too that the cells might be different. I noticed on the website it says these are LG batteries. It doesn't state what kind of batteries are on the standard cruiser. So my guess is it would be some type of Chinese batteries inside the standard cruiser battery. So LG cells will cost a little bit more, just like Samsung cells would cost a little bit more. So I'm thinking we got better cells inside there too. So maybe the cells are slightly smaller. I have no idea. Somebody asked me too about how, what's the difference when you got maybe one battery is 15 amp hours, the other one's 20 amp hours. How does that work? And I said it's more cells. Then he said it didn't seem right to him because more cells wouldn't that increase voltage and all that. I said it's how they wire it really. It's all in the way the wiring is done. Whether you put things in parallel or in series and all sorts of stuff. I don't know how it's actually done in the batteries because I haven't really investigated the actual layout, but I've seen videos of what the insides of these batteries look like, and they really do kind of look like larger AA batteries essentially, and there's a whole bunch of them, and then they are all wired up together. And then there's also BMS board in there, a battery management system board. That's what controls the battery, essentially. That in conjunction with your controller on your bike, that's what feeds all the power to your motor. I personally don't mind having controllers outside of the bike so it can be serviced quicker. If you need to change it out, it's easier. Some people prefer to see the controllers inside the down tube or something hidden so you don't see it. But I'm okay with them standing out because I don't know, I guess I'm more of a tinkerer. I'm not going to modify anything, but if there was a service problem, I know I can take it off and put a new one on.
Turn left onto North Red Avenue, then turn left onto the bike path.
So we'll see how that battery fits.
Turn left onto the bike path, then take a slight right turn onto
All right.
East Carpenter
Turn left onto the bike path, okay. Is this the bike path they're talking about? Further up, bike path? Oh, okay. I see what they say. Well, since this empties out, here's grass we're gonna go over. This is why we like the bumpy tires. All right, now we're back onto where we normally go on to. Here's our bridge again.
Take a slight right turn onto East Carpenter Drive.
Yeah, we're gonna take the path.
Turn right onto North Hicks Road.
All right, we don't need this map anymore. We kind of know where we're going. Take this map off of us. There we go. All right, back on the path. You guys are familiar with the path. So, let's conclude all this long ride we've done for you guys here. You saw us going there, you saw us cutting back. Yeah, I think the Apple map is the way to go for me. I don't think I like the Komoot program as much. I know some of you guys do, but it didn't work out for me. I may try it on another way of going somewhere else, but it didn't. It was good up to a point, and then it kind of lost me. I didn't know where I was at that point. I had to resort to going to the Apple map. Anyways, if you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. More rides coming to you, and also some reviews will be coming very shortly. I'm working on a review right now. Cannot tell you what it is, but morning. But it'll be coming. Anyways, I'll talk to you guys next time.